Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. So, I have about 7 topics for this video. Zelensky wants about 250 modern jets to fight Russia. They confirmed something that I said before, which is the 3 pillars of the profiteers in the war in Ukraine are the international finance system, the banks, international banks. Second, the military industrial complex. And the third one is the resources, the natural resources, the industry of energy. And I will show you how the Americans, unfortunately, show their desperation. How do they show their desperation? They are, or at least Trump, was in Japan, and I will show you what he told the new Japanese Prime Minister. Yes, she is Japanese, unlike Zelensky. Then we have France. France again confirms something that I've been saying for so long. They want to send about 2,000 troops in Ukraine, and those troops are, bring it to me, foreign legionnaires. So they won't be the regular army, French army, the soybeans. No, they will send the guys from South America, the legionnaires, the mercenaries if you want. Didn't I say that they will bring the guys with big balls instead of their fucking sipping soybean, pink hair, ballless new French nation? Huh? Alright, that's a confirmation. Russia is very concerned about it because that could mean war. It's alarmed actually. Then we find out again that someone else is gonna pick the tab for Ukraine, and that is the European baboons. Show you that one. Then Hungary, Mr. Orban, is going to create a little club within the European Union, which could later result in the disintegration of the European Union. I will show you what he does. He creates an alliance within the European Union with 2 more other countries. Now that's bad news for the baboons in the European Union. They say Orban brews anti-Ukraine alliance in the European Union. Well, that's maybe some of these guys don't understand. It is not the alliance against Ukraine. They portrayed it as such. It is an alliance of, break the news, nation states against the monopolistic, multicultural experiment of the new Soviet Union of Europe, which is the European Union. And then we have this piece of news again. The Russia-Ukraine peace deal will be signed in Budapest. But it's very strange. There's not going to be the Ukrainians. It's going to be the Americans and the Russians. Again, another confirmation of what I've been saying for so long. It is not the Ukrainians. It is not Zelensky. It is the root cause of the war, which is the United States of America and its military alliance. Not a defensive one, because remember, Yugoslavia did not attack NATO, Libya did not attack NATO, Iraq did not attack NATO, Afghanistan did not attack NATO, Syria did not attack NATO, and all these things were struck by NATO countries. Yeah, they can say it was not NATO per se, but it was no Bangladesh involved in the big military operation Desert Storm, was it? Or Honduras? Or Guatemala? Or maybe my friends from Zimbabwe? No? No. Alright, let's start with the first topic. This might be, it is not, what the hell is going on? I wash my face with urine again like the Romans and brush my teeth with it too. I'm just kidding. Alright, let's start with the first one. This might be the only video for today, even though I plan to make 2 more about social issues, how Russia will be disintegrated, or at least the plan to be disintegrated, and by whom and for whom. That's always for whom. Alright, let's start. Ukrinform. And this is the big lie coming from the big liar, from the bazaar, straight from the bazaar, the mother of bazaars. Zelensky Stein. 90 to 95% of long-range strikes carried out with Ukrainian weapons. Well, what did I tell you? A lot of things. And one of these lot of things were this. The Ukrainians probably will use American, French, British, and other long-range missiles provided to them or even operated by those countries from Ukraine to strike Russia. And when they, not if, when they will do that, I think they already did it, they will claim those are the Neptune missiles or the Flamingo, the Flamenco, the Flamenco, that's how they call it, the Flamingo missiles. And the Russians say, "Niet, что казалось, that's not Flamenco and Neptune and I know Jupiter and whomever you want. These are not those guys. These are Storm Shadows, these are HIMARSes, these are maybe Tomahawk missiles." And when that's going to happen, the media will tell you that the Russians are lying, like always. But they will tell you the truth, again, like always. So that's the first lie here. Next one. This is Zelensky's dream. New voice of Ukraine. Zelensky, Ukraine eyes fleet of 250 modern fighter jets. That means 250 Russian missiles strikes on those 250 modern jets. So what does he want? Okay, so this is the military-industrial complex's arm. And this is the same with the long range. This is the military-industrial complex arm. And I will show you. Ukraine is planning to acquire up to 250. Why up to? Why not up to 3,000? New fighter jets, including F-16s, old, Gripens, Rafales, President Volodymyr Zelensky told the press on October 27, Babel reported. Now, this is the testing ground for these companies who produce F-16s, Gripens, and Rafales. That's what it is. These are not new. They will not send them the new. They want to see how the Russian air defenses react to this airplane, so they can adjust. That's what it is. It's a testing ground. You know, like you fight and you just jab and see how it's going to react to your jab. You don't mean to smacking in the chin, straight in his little Kirk Douglas's pussy in the chin. You're not going to do it like that. Just throw it and see what it's going to do. If it's going to block it in the wrong way or react in the wrong way, then you do what you need to do. All right? You test it. Next one. Will those 250 Jesus Christ, delivered? If the war will continue, I believe so. I didn't say I think so. I said I believe so. All right. Always when someone says I believe, don't talk to that person. If I believe there were 3,050 people over there, you believe or you think? You know? I believe is something that I believe the pigs can fly. I believe today will be a good day. Based on what? I don't know, my beliefs, my irrational... All right, let's go to the next one. Let's see what the Russians are. This is according to the liars from the Institute of the Study of War, supposedly, for the study of war. Russians seep into south and west of Pokrovsk. Pokrovsk is a dead city already for the Ukrainians, unfortunately for them. Why they say unfortunately? Because they are used by outside interests. That's why they are poor. And where are they located? Let me show you. Map of Ukrainska Pravda. And here is in Donetsk. Donetsk, right here. This is where Pokrovsk is located. The Russians call it Krasnoarmeysk. Right here. So they're seeped to the west, not even to the east, to the west and from the south. Or let's go, and if you don't want it, we're going to have these guys. Again, here's another map from Deep State. It's a Ukrainian, okay? So you have, again, Pokrovsk right here. This goes deeper than that. It's the west and from the south. I think that the town is already rotten. That is, the Russians were able to control the supply routes to the city of Pokrovsk. Therefore, they are done. And if you look at this map, at least, the Russian map, right here, you have this route and this route. This route is over. You control it with drones. You control it here. Nothing comes and goes without being struck. The same here. They're too close. So then how are you going to supply the poor Ukrainians in Pokrovsk, in Krasnoarmeysk? I tell you, you won't. Don't give me helicopters and other things like that. These guys, I think they are in charge of the airspace here. All right, next. 28th of October 2025, Macron dreams of military intervention in Ukraine, according to Moscow. The French president has reportedly ordered a contingent of 2,000 soldiers to prepare to help Kiev, according to Russian intelligence. Now, this has been the news for about a year, the 2,000 soldiers. According to Maria Zakharova, maybe a year and a half ago, she said that. And I said, these are going to be French foreign legionnaires. It's not going to be the French army. They're going to use others with bigger balls than their wine-sipping, cheese-eating soybeans. So what's going on here? They're preparing to help Kiev. And here it is. French President Emmanuel Macron is preparing to intervene militarily in Ukraine. Russia's Foreign Intelligence Services, SVR, has claimed. You see, this is journalism. These guys claimed, all right? They claim that. They don't say it's true because we don't know if it's true. Maybe they are lying. In a statement published on Monday, the agency's press department claimed, beautiful words, that he desperately wants to leave his mark on history. And I'm quoting, having failed as a politician and despaired of ever pulling the country out of the long social and economic crisis, he does not give up the hope to go down in history as a military leader. The SVR claimed, adding that Macron, and according dreams of a military intervention in Ukraine, and is known for fantasizing about Napoleon's laurels. Now, I don't know if that's true. I think this is too much poetic, and I don't like that. And where are they going to have them? They're going to have them from the guys in the Foreign Legion. I will show you. French General Staff gearing up to send 2,000 troops to Ukraine. Yeah. All right, here they are. The new French. What did I tell you? Hey, I don't see any... you know what I mean? I see a Chinese guy here, but I don't see anything else. These guys are the French. Bang, bang. They're going to fight the Russians. Okay. Long gone, man. Bring Napoleon back from his... Hotel d'Invalides and have him go for a stroll in Paris and see his nation. He's gonna be probably commit, on the banks of Seine. French Foreign Legion assault troops. French Foreign Legion, currently stationed in Poland, are preparing for redeployment to central Ukraine. Russia's Foreign Intelligence SVR has revealed. French Foreign Legion assault troop stations in Poland border regions are gearing up to be redeployed to central Ukraine. Boom. According to information received, Papa is dreaming. I don't like this kind. This is too poetic. It doesn't sound like a intelligence services to me. But anyway, it is what it is. So where are those guys coming? I will show you right here. The backbone of the formation will be French Foreign Legion. Assault troops, primarily from Latin American countries, South Americans. The legionnaires are currently deployed in areas of Poland bordering Ukraine, undergoing intensive combat training and receiving weapons and military equipment. Their deployment to central Ukraine is planned for the near future. So where is that located? Rapatsapa, I will show you. Klopatsopa, Ipinopa, right here. This is the border with Poland. Poland, right here. This is the border with Poland. Whatever is left of Ukraine with Polska. All right, and we have the Russian reaction. Kremlin's alarm at France's gamble to send troops to Ukraine. Let me think, where is Brigitte? Okay. A recent intelligence, we have all this, deployed 2,000, and this is from Peskov. Ukraine has not responded to Russia's proposed draft document suggesting pause, we don't care about that one. All right, we don't see any French here, anything like that. So, will the French deploy them? Probably, as they said, redeploy them. Because they're deployed in Poland, they will be redeployed in central Ukraine, according to the intelligence services. They will be boom, 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 bam, bam, bam by the Russians. Now, the point is this. What would you do? First, you fight a neighbor. And the neighbor has we all have another neighbor, and the neighbor his sons, adult sons, are helping this guy with bababab to shoot at your family. Would you consider the second neighbor, not the one that you initially fight, the other guy, will you consider that a participant? And if yes, what would you do? Well, you give him a warning and a deadline. Okay, warning and a deadline. Don't give him a warning and that's it. Give him a warning and a deadline. And after that, you strike them. No, you don't do that? All right, let's put it differently. Let's say that guy provides weapons to that guy and that guy is going to shoot at your family and casualties. What would you do to that neighbor? Again, warning and a deadline. So that's with that. Let's go to the next one. I'm going to show you the other profiteers here. The other profiteers, which are the main ones, which are the guys who create money out of numbers. That's what they do. How much you want? 100 billion, 100, and then go 000, 000, 000. There you got. Ready? Let's go to these guys and see who are the guys and who's gonna pick up the tab, the imbeciles from the European Union. According to Russia Today, European Union members could borrow money. You see the word borrow? Borrow money. From whom? Who are these guys to finance Ukraine? According to Politico, member states may need to raise billions in joint debt if using frozen Russian assets for a reparations loan fails. Sources told the outlet, told Politico. European Union, remember, is going to be joint debt. That means the citizens of Europe will pay for it. Got it? According to a report, several leaders discussing this alternative at last week's European Union summit after Belgium refused to back a 140 billion euros, which is $160 billion, Ukraine loan secured by the frozen Russian assets. There you go. They froze $300 billion in Russian sovereign assets in 2022. It's okay, you will pick up the tab. Who's you? Your children. Because the loans that are made right now with interest will be paid by you. And that is, they will tax you more. They will not invest in your infrastructure, schools, hospitals, education, and all that because they have to pay that one. Otherwise, they will own your country, which they already do. You're going to see a video later today, probably explaining who is in charge of whom and why these guys hate Russia. Who's they? These guys, the group, the club, as I call it. Why? Russia is not part of the club, not invited. Why? Too independent, cannot be blackmailed. It's not compromised. You have to be compromised to be invited to be part of the club. You can't be just part of a club and then get out independent and you tell everybody what's going on. No, you can't do that. They have to have means to blackmail you, threaten you, and so on. So let's see how the United States of America, to me, seem to be very, very desperate. And I'm telling you how that is. If I want something from you, let's say I'm dealing with you, I'm making a deal, in a bazaar if you want, and I say, okay, I want that dildo from you. And you say, well, what are you going to give me in return? And I'll say, anything you want. I don't know, give me your house. You know, understand? When I tell you I want that product from you and I give you anything you want, what does that tell you? Desperation. And we have Australia and Japan being the neo-colonized countries right there in your face. I will explain here. Russia Today. Trump offers anything you want to Japan's new prime minister. Why? Because he wants something. What does he want? He wants metals. And not only. The US president has pledged to support Sanae Takaichi during his trip to Tokyo. So he came to see his guys that he owns. Not he, the guys in charge, the club. Japan is not part of the club because it's too indebted. US President Donald Trump has promised sweeping support for Japan and its prime minister amid the intensifying rivalry with China in the Indo-Pacific. When you hear these guys, the Americans coming and promising you sweeping support, you understand that you are going to be America's, or the interest channeled to America. You're going to be the tip of the lunch, the spear. That's what you're going to be. You're going to be the first one, like Ukraine right now. America is supporting Ukraine. Sweeping support. But you're fighting my war. You understand? So that's where Japan is. When you hear these guys, like the bank, we're going to help you with a loan. They don't help you with a loan. They enrich yourselves. If they help you, they will give you the loan as it is. They would maybe adjust it for inflation and that's it. But they don't. They have to make a profit. That is their business. Profit on you. The same. The Americans are not helping. They're going to use the Japanese. Maybe the Japanese will create a problem in the South China Sea and they will get a little war for the Americans in the South China Sea, let's say, or Sea of Japan, whatever comes first. And then it's going to be, we're going to help you. But we incited you to do that. The help usually comes from the biggest democracy here. Trump hailed Japan as an ally. You're not an ally when only you have troops in that country and that country doesn't have troops in your country. At the strongest level, all right, U.S. was set to purchase a large amount U.S. ally was set to purchase a large amount of new military equipment. This is the second profiteer, military-industrial complex. And expressing how are they going to build it. These guys are indebted more than 100%. I think it's 105%. All right? They're going to get loans. That's what's going to happen. Like the other imbeciles right here. You got it? So you got it too, at least. And how do you freaking build shit? With energy. And expressing confidence that bilateral ties will become stronger than ever before. That means we're going to activate you against the Russians and the Chinese. And I'm quoting, I want to just let you know, anytime you have any question, any doubt, anything you want, any favors you need, anything I can do to help Japan, we will be there. I want you to get your troops out as a starter. And you find out all this is garbage. Takaichi, a hardline conservative who assumed office last week, thanked Trump for mediating a dispute between Thailand and Cambodia and for his unsweeping commitment to peace and stability. Yeah, unwavering commitment to peace and stability after 2 weeks of the Middle East genocide? Really? So what do they want, my friends? Alright, Japan has hosted American troops since the end of the World War II and remains one of the largest buyers of U.S. weapons. And here, this is it. The leaders also signed a cooperation agreement of that's the word, all right, rare earth and critical minerals, as well as the pledge to work towards a new golden age of the U.S.-Japan alliance. This is such a euphemistic garbage. Trump signed a similar deal with Australia earlier this month, aimed at countering China's dominance in the rare earth market. That's not what it is. This is what it is. The U.S. cannot make the Chinese do anything. That shows the U.S. limitation. Therefore, they say, we can't make you. We threatened you, we blackmailed you, we said we're going to impose tariffs on you, and China cannot be touched. Therefore, you have to adjust, don't you? And what do? You go to your baboon vassal states and you tell them, you're going to give me the medals, you're going to give me the medals, you're going to give me the medals, and we're going to give you weapons. And you're going to borrow money to buy our weapons. Genius. Who's in charge? Oh no, we are allies. Got that? This shows desperation. You can say, well, you adjust. No. If you are the one that you say you are, you would have gone to China, smack them around like a bitch slap, smack, pack, and you take anything you want. All right? Whatever you want. And how many times you want, in what kind of position you want. But no, you can't. Therefore, you go to the baboons in your own plantation and you go to the slave quarters and say, Australia, you're gonna give me this. Okay, master. Okay, how about you, Japan? Okay, master. That's how it is, my friends. You don't think that's what it is? Okay, wait and see. They already signed treaties about, I'm gonna get your resources. That is because they failed in Russia taking their resources, and they failed with China to intimidate them. What does that tell you? The limitation of the empire. So, Trump, with all his bluffs, showed the rest of the world how big and strong the US actually is. Do I like that? No, but I'm just analyzing facts, events, which conclude or make me draw the conclusions. These guys are not there, are over here. How many fast intervention groups the Americans have? They have the USS Gerald Ford intervention, which was in the Mediterranean Sea, and then in the Red Sea to fight the Houthis. They lost because the Houthis were striking them, and then they left where? They went out to South America for Venezuela. They want Venezuela's oil. This is a plundering mission. A plundering. It happened in history all the time. Rome was going for gold in Dacia. And not only, they want resources. It's the same thing. We're the same. We might not pitch the garbage, on the street like that, or maybe we brush our teeth more often than the Romans with urine, but doesn't really matter. We are the same garbage inside. Let's go a little bit more sophisticated, they say. Sophisticated. Sputnik. Hungary's Orban eyes peace bloc to challenge EU hawks stance on Ukraine. This could be the foundation of either restructuring of the European Union or a dismantling of the European Union. Hungary's Prime Minister Orban is rallying pro-peace allies to form a new alliance inside the EU, according to US media. Reportedly wants to team up with Czech politician Andrej Babiš, whose opposition ANO party won the recent Czech elections, and Slovak Prime Minister Robert Fico. The idea is that they could align positions before key EU summits. While an official alliance isn't inked yet, the move could throw a wrench into EU efforts to keep funding and arming Ukraine. This is just one, but remember, this is because they tried to defend and protect their own people from being robbed by the European Union globalists in Brussels. And I'm quoting, I think it will come and be more and more visible. Orban's political director, Balázs Orbán, was cited as saying, in Hungary they're all Orbáns. The middle name is Orban. So that's the first one. Second one, Orban's brews anti-Ukraine alliance in the European Union. This according to New Voice of Ukraine. Now don't let yourself fooled by anti-Ukraine. Remember, if I like the color black, it does not mean I hate the color white. I might not like it, or it's not my favorite. So if I say I have a club right here, and the club is called the Black Club, all right, let's say, I don't want to say white, but whatever, white club, or black club, or green. It doesn't mean I hate everybody else. So if I love, let's say, my race, it doesn't mean I hate everybody else. I just love my family. When I say I love my family, it doesn't mean I hate your family. I definitely love my family more than I love your family. And you should love your family more than my family. That's normal. If you do the other way around, we have a problem. Unless your family did something very terrible to you. And even though it's a little bit different. So here you have, these guys are portraying like, I like them, that means I hate everybody, it's against everybody. It's not like that. We get together on certain preferences. Now you can say it's against, no, it's a common front against Brussels. And Brussels is not only Ukraine. Ukraine is at this moment the hottest topic. But it's not only that. It's not all what the European Union does. And let me show you where the peace deal will be signed. According to Orban, it seems like, again, New Voice of Ukraine, October 28, 2025. Orban says Russia-Ukraine peace deal will be signed in Budapest. By whom? Well, it was Putin and Trump, the leader or the president of the Russian Federation and the president of the United States of America, who said they're going to have a summit in Budapest. I haven't heard the word Zelenskyy. So the Russia-Ukraine peace deal will be signed in Budapest. Why? Because it's about Russia and the United States of America, not Russia and Ukraine. Ukraine is just the spear tip the guys are using to hit the Russian bear. So the Budapest Peace Summit will take place, said Orban. That can be considered a fact without specifying when it might occur. So Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban on October 27 that a peace agreement between Russia and Ukraine will be signed in Budapest. Igen, okay. According to an interview with broadcaster M1 cited by Hungarian outlet Index, the Hungarian leader argued that a peace between Russia and Ukraine could only be achieved with the involvement of outside powers, primarily the United States or Europe. I don't think or Europe, it's the United States of America, because the United States of America owns Europe. So let's go with the chain of command, all right? And I'm quoting, someone must make peace with the Russians, either the Americans or Europe. You see, he doesn't say the Ukrainians. Orban said it, and I'm quoting, Europe doesn't want to do it, which is catastrophic. It's a catastrophic mistake. The Americans are negotiating, and they will decide Ukraine's future and Europe's security. Correct, and that is. Oh, let me say. I said more right here. Peace could be established and an agreement signed here within 2 or 3 days. All right. So Ukraine. Don't get fooled by these guys with Putin's invasion and dreams of creating the Soviet Union and imperialistic tendencies and all that. Okay, it's the other way around. It's NATO who approached the Russian borders, not Russia approaching or getting close to the NATO borders. So that's a given. The second one, if you try to make a pattern out of Russia invading another country or bombarding another country, I can name United States of America, which did in the last 34 years about 6 countries or 7 at least. Can I show you? Yugoslavia, Iraq, if you want now Iran, Afghanistan, Libya, Syria. These are just a few of the countries the United States of America bombarded and invaded, some of them, and occupied. So if we are to make a pattern on who is imperialistic, Russia or the United States of America, I think the history is right there. You just have to know it. Just 2 clicks, click, and that's it. So again, this is going to be done by the root cause in Ukraine, which is NATO expansion, and NATO is United States of America, not Romania or Hungary or, I don't know, Germany. No, those are just jackals. It's like a gang in the parking lot. I am the toughest guy and I have baboons around me, and I use the baboons, to take over other people's whatever they have properties. And when they get a smack, then I'm blah, 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 and I send everybody in. Why? Because I'm strong. I fight with everybody else. Okay, I don't never fight alone. That again shows you the limitation. If I would be the toughest guy, I would grab everybody, smack everybody together. I would say, okay, guys, I'm going to smack all of you in the same time. So get together. I'm going to give you, I don't know, how much you want. A month, get ready. I'm going to come over. After a month, I come over. I fuck them up in one blow, like with my cock. Get them out and say, anybody else? That's how strong, as these guys say, the superpower acts. Not sending, I don't know, Israel to bomb over there, or they send NATO together, the alliance, to bombard Yugoslavia. I was about to say something. Or Iraq, 20 million people. Desert Storm. Ooh, Schwarzkopf General, yes. And everybody's a veteran. Who did you fight? A toddler? Mike Tyson. My friends, but hey, we're strong always with an alliance. They struck Iran, Iran struck you back. And now you're like, yeah, we destroyed everything. Yeah, they fucked you up in your own military base in Qatar. Biggest, with your Patriot systems. You took a shit over there. You couldn't fight the Houthis, goddamn, the Houthis. Those guys, with tents and camels still, but have hypersonic missiles. And you're gonna fight what? Russia? That's how a real strong country acts. Goes in the room and say, everybody shush. Who talks? Smack. And you always go to the biggest one. When you are attacked, I tell you, this is a war tactic if you want. If you're attacked by a gang, try to figure out who is the strongest, who is their leader. And that's the guy that you jump first and try to knock the shit out of. Not the weak guys that are, not those guys. You go to the leader. You destroy their fighting spirit. If you figure out that this is the guy that everybody is looking at, you go for that guy. Knock him out if you can, and everybody else will, the spirit will be like, they knock out Mikey, goddammit. Yes, exactly. And they will be your dick-sucking team. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.